If you have a trip to Colombia right now, here is something you need to understand before you pack. Your trip may still be possible, but the Colombia you're flying into today is not operating like the one you booked a few days ago. On Monday, August 10th, a magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck western Colombia near San Jose de Palma in Choco. It caused widespread damage, killed more than 100 people, and disrupted transports across parts of the country. Bogotá has now become a no-go zone. Cartagena and Medellin have not been cut off from international travelers. But some of the country's most important regional connections have been hit hard, so if your itinerary includes something like New York to Bogotá, or Bogotá to Pereira, or Bogotá to Cali, you cannot look only at the international flights and assume the rest is fine. So what's the real risk right now? The biggest risk may not be getting into Colombia. It may be getting from one part of Colombia to another. Let's start with the airports. When the earthquake hit, several airports in western Colombia suspended operations while authorities inspected the infrastructure. Those include Pereira, Manizales, Quibdó, Armenia, Cartago, Buenaventura, and Cali. But the situation is changing by the hour. As inspections progressed, many of those airports began returning to operations. As of the latest airlines and authority updates, Pereira still faced restrictions while safety assessments continued. Other affected airports had resumed services under several varying conditions. You should not treat an earlier list of 7 airports as a list of the 7 that are still closed. So, why does this matter so much? Imagine you fly internationally into Bogota. Your international flight is confirmed, you land and everything looks normal. Then you discover your domestic flight to Pereira had been cancelled or rerouted. Your international flight was never the problem, however, your connection was. This is why anyone heading towards the coffee region, Cali, Quibdó, or other western destinations need to check every single segment of their itinerary. And even when an airport reopens, the surrounding networks is not always back to normal. Roads, bridges, and local transportation can still be affected. So, the better question is not simply, is my airport open? It is, can I actually complete the entire journey from my arrival airport to my final destination? So, what happens if your airline changes your flight? Airlines have introduced temporary flexibility. Avianca says passengers with qualifying tickets through August 16th involving Pereira, Armenia, Cali, Quibdó can change their travel dates by up to 15 days, switch to alternative Colombian airports, or request refund or unused segments subject to conditions and availability. LATAM has similar flexibility for qualifying passengers traveling from Pereira, Cali, and Armenia. Wingo has also introduced temporary measures, though its dates and conditions differ. Here is the detail many travelers miss. If the airline routes you through another airport, that flexibility does not automatically include the ground journey from your new airport to your final destination. The airline may get you to Bogotá instead of Pereira. Getting from Bogotá to Pereira by road could still be your responsibility. Free changes do not always mean free transportation all the way to your hotel. So before accepting any alternative airports, calculate the full cost, ground transport, possible extra hotel nights, meals, and missed connections. So what about your accommodation? This is where you need to be careful. Airbnb's major disruptive events policy covers unpredictable natural disasters such as earthquakes, but the event generally has to affect the location of the reservation and prevent or legally prohibits the stay from being completed. So if your accommodation is in Bogotá or Medellin and your only problem is a disrupted connecting flight that does not automatically trigger the policy, hotels, booking platforms, airlines, and travel insurers all operate under different terms. The strongest move is documentation. So here are the things you should do. Keep the airline cancellation notice, keep your new itinerary, keep official airport updates and government notices. Keep every message with the hotel or the booking platform. Evidence is far more useful than simply saying there was an earthquake. What about festivals, concerts, and sports? The earthquake has already forced changes. Pereira's 2026 Harvest Festival, scheduled for August 14th through August 30th, was cancelled. CONMEBOL postponed major continental matches involving Colombian clubs. Domestic league matches were also suspended for the week. So if your trip was built around specific events, check the organizers and the venue directly. Do not assume the event is still happening just because you have a ticket. Should you cancel your entire trip to Colombia? Not necessarily. A serious humanitarian disaster is part of Western Colombia does not mean every part of the country is inaccessible. Bogotá's El Dorado airport remains operational, though delays and cancellations can still ripple through the national network. The real question is not if Colombia is open. The real question is where exactly am I going and can I safely and reliably get there? If you're staying in Bogotá and your plans stay within areas operating normally, your situation is very different from someone connecting immediately to Pereira or Cali. Check the status of your international flight. Check every domestic connections. Check your destination airport. Check the ground link between the airport and your accommodation. And check the airline's latest flexibility policy before you cancel. In a rapid changing situation, the difference between losing hundreds of thousands of dollars and protecting your trip can come down to these things. Whether you check the current rules before pressing the cancellation button. Colombia is still open to travelers in many areas, but right now traveling through the country requires more than a plane ticket. It requires current information, flexibility, and a plan B. I'm Bibian with Triple G. If this helps you sort out what you need to do next, share it with someone who has a trip to Colombia coming up. And drop a comment if your itinerary has already been affected. Safe travels and I'll see you next time.